Hi guys, Gareth here and welcome to this video Plonk production, and I think it's time to get back to video making ways and, you know, push the drama to one side, all of the crap that's been going on, and we'll just get to some nitty gritty stuff. So if it hasn't been obvious in my last few videos, some things have been going on in the background that may be of the more negative sense, and there have been some times over the last 2 or 3 weeks where some collections, some items of mine have been on. What I mean by that is there's the potential I could have taken them down to a pawn shop, CX here in the UK, and then sold them for their money. In fact, literally yesterday or the day before, it's currently Wednesday the 13th of March while I'm recording this, but I think it was Monday or Tuesday, can't quite remember. I was that close to a large swath of my collection in order to facilitate getting a camera back. But I think this Sony DVD camera is actually doing not badly at the moment, so we'll keep using this until further notice and then we'll go from there. That may be on the chopping block at one point. I'm trying to think of anything else was on the chopping block. Oh yeah, there are a couple of other things that I've just realised are actually up there. I could actually grab, to be honest. That's one thing that was on the chopping block. I'll put that over there for now. Trying to think if anything else was on the chopping block at one point. That might have been, but that doesn't go for a lot of money. Should I pick that up as well? Nah. I need to extend this video a little bit anyway, because there wasn't a lot of stuff here on my right. Anyway, so without further notice, I'm going to speak about some stuff that was on the chopping block. So first and foremost, you guys know, I've said this 1,000 times at this point, you're probably getting sick of it. I bought an Xbox One X 2 or 3 weeks ago. In order to facilitate me doing so, I sold my PlayStation 3, or traded my PlayStation 3, my camera at the time, Xbox One S, and a Sega Mega Drive. At the same time, I also sold my Steelbook edition of the Resident Evil 2 remake. The reason why I did that is A, I was a little bit low on cash, and B, that weekend I was going to go out for a meal, and it's kind of like, are we going out for the meal, we're not going out for the meal? And my dad and sister really wanted to go out for the meal, so I decided to sell Resident Evil 2 in order to facilitate me doing that. Now, I go through large swaths of time of not selling anything, and then the time will come where it's kind of like I need to sell something, or I might need to sell something, and I'm holding on, and then sort of like, fuck it, sell whatever it is. And when that happens, it sort of opens up the floodgates for me, and then makes me think, oh, I've just sold this thing that I was really not wanting to sell. Why not sell some other things that I really don't want to sell? And that can be a dangerous mindset to get into, but it's one of those mindsets we all get through. Now, rather than making a negative thing of it and just sort of dwelling on it and being all self-pity, like, I thought I'd make a video about it and talk through my thought processes of maybe selling these things, maybe not selling these things, and then talk to you guys about it. I'm a YouTuber after all, might as well make a YouTube about anything and everything I can. Hey, and it's DVD and Blu-ray related, so why not? Let's do it. So yeah, I sold Resident Evil 2, and I really did not want to sell Resident Evil 2. It was in my bag as a backup in case I didn't quite get over the line for the Xbox One X. Turns out I quite easily got over the line, in case you're wondering, with £6. Was it £6 or £6 to spare? Actually, I think I got like £316 in total in order to get the Xbox One X. Needed £310, in case you're wondering. But yeah, I plonked down Resident Evil 2. I was kind of like, I really didn't want to do that, but hey ho. I still had a copy I could play on the PC. However, as you guys may or may not know, recently I've discovered the graphics card fans, the fans of my graphics card, have decided to bite the dust, so I can't play on my computer right now because my computer will just overheat, or my graphics card will overheat and then turn itself off. So when I was going through a bit of a dark period, I could say, last week, when I really wasn't thinking straight, about a number of things. Anything on my bed was under deliberation. And the first things I should show you, and these have been on the chopping block for quite some time, and I'm still not sure whether they're going to stay or go or whatnot. I'm just trying to get them all together because it's a whole series of different sets. Right, we'll show them in two different parts. It's basically the complete collection of Game of Thrones thus far. So some of you will know that Game of Thrones Season 8 is showing on April the 15th. And I was at one point, at the beginning of this year, because it was around the beginning of this year, I do remember, that they sort of announced that it was going to be shown on the 15th of April. I had a plan of watching all of Game of Thrones between January and April, which is more than doable. However, it's currently 13th of March. We are just about a month away from the 15th of April when Game of Thrones Season 8 comes out, and I haven't watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. I should state at this point, I have seen all of Season 1 of Game of Thrones, but I haven't seen anything past that point. So for a while now, those have been on the chopping block. What's stopping me going down to CX and selling those, apart from, obviously, with any of this is a thing you have to bear in mind, is of course losing money on the whole thing, because obviously I've paid so much money for these things and I'm not going to get that much back. So that's always in the back of my head that that's a potential. I'll be honest with you, there are times in the past I've taken things down to CX and gotten more money back than I paid for it in the first place. And if that's the case, I've actually, gone ahead and sold things whether I want to or not, just because CX is currently offering a better price than I paid for it in the first place. And that situation is like win-win in my mind anyway. So where was I? So yeah, they've been on the chopping block since that point. So the two things, one thing that's what's caused me to maybe go and sell them. The other thing that's not caused me not to go and sell them, is I actually sold my Xbox One X, wasn't an X, my Xbox One Elite console last year, because long story short, I had a bank snafu in which I was charged 3 or 4 times for the same thing, and it caused quite a snafu with my bank, leaving me with not a lot of money to get through until that refund came through. So was it a refund, or did they actually charge me that amount of money and didn't refund me? I can't remember. I had a big old bank snafu. So I sold my Xbox One. I keep calling it an Xbox One X. My Xbox One Elite, and went down, sold it, and was like, I want to buy something that I'll buy something with that money, because I don't need a lot of it to get through. I need about 50 quid of it, and I sold it for like £200, something like that. I can't remember right now how much it was. So I'm going to buy myself, and I decided to buy myself all 7 seasons of Game of Thrones off of eBay. Now, I could have just spent, I think it was £60 or £70 in order to buy the complete Blu-ray collection of Game of Thrones and not buy them individually. I chose to buy them individually, which cost me a lot more than I was expecting. So could have just spent £70 to get the complete, collection. Though I wanted to get them all individually, cost me a grand total of £120, I do believe, all in all, that all cost me. Because I got into a bit of a bidding war with a couple of people, and yeah, I think you know where that went, guys. So that really does stick in my throat that I did that. And if I was to sell all of those for cash, not for voucher, I get about £30-40 from CX, which, yes, as the TV show goes on, the first seasons do drop in price drastically. However, it seems a bit, I don't know, harsh, I suppose, that I'm only going to get like 40 quid for like 7 seasons of Game of Thrones. So that was Game of Thrones. The next thing that's on the chopping block that, again, I go through periods of selling this when I have it because it's still worth quite a bit of money through CEX. You can actually get quite a bit of money for this set through CEX. And I go through periods of wanting to sell it, not wanting to sell it. I've already sold this set 5 times already. Not this specific set, but... And there comes a point where it just gets soul destroying and very draining to keep going down and selling the same set over and over again to CEX. And that is the Harry Potter Hogwarts collection. If you don't know what this set is, this is the Wizards collection, basically condensed down into a nice, easy, affordable package, because the Wizards collection, when it came out, was £250. It's now well over £500, maybe more than that these days. And this is £100 or so, depending on where you buy it from. It does go in and out of print, just warning you. And when it is out of print, it does go for £200-300 sometimes, but just wait for it to go back into print. The only thing I will say, when it goes out of print and then comes back into print, it does go up in price every time that sort of cycle happens. So if you're looking at it now and you've got the money now and it's in print and it's within your price range and you'll strongly consider it, I'd go for it. Because if you wait for it to go out of print and it comes back into print again, it's going to go up in price, and it normally goes up between £20 to £30 each time that cycle happens. So we may have a time where it comes back into print and it's £200 just to buy it brand new. I bought this from eBay brand new and I paid £120 for this set off of eBay. I think it might have been £100 because I made it a best offer. Anyway, and from CEX I'll only get £32 for it, or 53 voucher, which is quite a bit of money for a voucher from CEX, to be honest. Now, I'd only sell this in conjunction with some other stuff and also facilitate me getting a camera. So I wouldn't go down and just sell this on its own, because that to me is a very massive waste of money. And if you guys don't know, this actually has quite a strong place in my heart for several reasons. So it's one of my like prized possessions, collections, what have you. So yeah, I wouldn't just go down and sell it on its own. It would be part of a overall haul I'm taking downwards to facilitate me getting something back for it. I wouldn't just take this down just to get money, because that just seems, it's very soul destroying to do that. I'd said to get something else. I'm just checking how much time I've got left. 30 minutes, I've got to hurry up. So next up is, and this was actually a Christmas present, and that's the main reason why I'm strong through not selling it, but it's just gone up in price on CEX, which means they give more for it. And it's the Middle-earth Extended Blu-ray Lord of the Rings and Hobbit collection. Pretty much I can get a, not a bad, I think it's like £30 I can now get for this. Is it £20 to £30? It was I paid half of it, my dad paid the other half for Christmas present. So it's one of those things that it's like, do I, don't I sell it? So yeah. And the next thing on the list, and I bought this last year, and unfortunately it's partially damaged. I think I'm missing a steelbook. Am I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. It's the Alex Ross Steelbook collection of the Universal Monsters. The problem with this collection, I paid 50 quid for this. In fact, I've only paid £30 now, thinking about it, because I've gotten some refunds for it. CEX only gives £16 for that set, which is like a couple of quid a steelbook, because there's like 7 steelbooks in there. So it's like, you know, £2.25 or something, a bit more than that, per steelbook. And that's just ridiculous to me that they only give £16 for this set that at one point was over £100. When this first came out, this was like 120 quid. It's just, unfortunately, no one's bought it because I don't think anybody knows what it is, or maybe the original Universal Monsters don't garner as much popularity as they used to. But yeah, that's really, really strange. So a couple of other things that are sort of on the shopping list chopping block that I haven't brought up here is the Batman Animated Collection on Blu-ray. Once again, that is one of my prized possessions and collections. Haven't only been in my collection for a few months, but it's an astounding collection, and I'd only sell that as part of a overall bundle in order to facilitate getting something else. And my Nintendo Switch Pro Controller has been on the chopping block, to be honest, quite some time, but I've actually lost the charging lead to my phone, my Sony Xperia XZ Premium, so I'm using the charging cable from the Switch Pro Controller, which means I can't sell the Pro Controller because I'm using the lead from it. Plus, I do like the Pro Controller quite a bit, so, you know. Anyway, guys, I am running out of space on this disc, so I need to wrap this up. But hopefully, you know, that, guys, gives you a understanding of the kind of thought process that go through when I think about selling something, and then whether I'm going to sell it, I'm not going to sell it. And there are some people who may be looking at this thinking, why are you being so sentimental about possessions? If you need the money, go and sell it, blah, blah, blah. Possessions are, you know, you'll get them back at some point. But most of this stuff does go in and out of print on occasions, and of course, they go for a lot more money when they're out of print. Anyway, guys, you know the spiel: like, dislike, subscribe, hit the bell icon, make sure the quotation's around it, and you receive a notification to your device of choice every time I upload a video. And as always, guys, please take care. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.